when I listen to the governor say that Tyler Robinson was radicalized by far left ideology, I get frustrated because what specifically are you talking about? Because well, first of all those casings and everything that he left, when Grok looked at them, which is Elon's AI, he said that's alt-right stuff. Okay, and I guess Elon said, well, I'll fix that. But if you were to take Nick Fuentes and you take his videos and you isolate like sections of them, which that's how I have watched him, fortunately, is on here like 5-minute segments, 5 to 10 minute segments at a time. And when you do it that way, he may have a whole segment on Gaza where he looks like he's just devastated about Gaza. He looks really upset. He looks pained. And he talked about it's just being a good person. You may not agree with the religion in Palestine, but you agree with helping them and protecting them from Israel. He's also an anti-Semite. He hates Israel. He thinks that they run this country, obviously, but he will call Charlie Kirk and Trump Jewish fascists. So he does use the term fascist a lot. So if this kid is saying those things, they sound left-wing. Okay. And also, Nick, he just rips apart J.D. Vance. He rips apart Trump. I mean, like no one you've ever heard. Just the foulest, crudest, most insane things. He says good things about Gavin Newsom. He says good things about, is it Kira, something, when she was one of the Young Turks. Is that right? But he says things about people that are positive outside the Republican Party. He's tells people not to vote for the Republican Party because they don't help white young men, on that they just push themselves on them without actually providing something to help their lives. So if you just went to those and didn't see the clips where he's just being really gross about or Jewish people or women or other minorities, you would think he is a liberal or on the left. You just would. So that's why I have a hard time with this, because the stuff he wrote on there was very much alt-right or outside of everything, which is just, I'm not woke, I'm not to the right, I'm nothing, I'm smarter than all of you, this is a game, you're NPCs, this is the Matrix, rules don't apply to me, you guys are pawns in the game, and me and my smart community on the dark web, which is not left. It just isn't. It started left. That's where Occupy Wall Street started on 4chan. That's not where it stayed. And it's real hard to be a leftist and be in those communities. And like, how many Holocaust jokes can you handle? Right? And they want to make it like, well, the trans thing makes him leftist, but like, why would he still be in those groups? It doesn't match up to me, because I am open to him being a leftist. And in fact, originally I thought, oh, someone on the left was sick of his shit. That's what I thought. And maybe by some miracle that will still happen, but it's like when they keep saying leftist ideology, what are you talking about? Because Nick Fuentes, in certain contexts, and gropers can sound left because they don't like Trump, they hate J.D. Vance, they hate Peter Thiel, they hate a lot of the politics that are going on right now because they don't feel like they're getting enough help. And if he's saying he doesn't like these people, and he doesn't like Charlie Kirk because he was pro-Israel, he doesn't like Trump because he's not helping, that can sound left. Or saying that he wants health care. Like maybe he'd want health care for everybody. So it's not just this hard right or left world either. It can sound mixed. And I don't know if they're just taking that and using that as propaganda. Because that was a problem. Like I said, it was open to being left, but at the same time, when you have Kash Patel, who's MAGA, you have the administration that's MAGA, and you have a governor who, at the very least, is the cult of Mormonism, and they jump out of the gate and say it's a leftist radical, well, we've got a problem. So, things are going to keep evolving. Clearly, we don't know the whole picture, but until they say specifically, or that kid says specifically what these leftist ideologies are, here we are. And if he did have someone that he loves that is trans, maybe that alone was enough to say, be quiet, I'm tired of it. So this whole they were left and that they want to go find these leftist groups that maybe he was a part of in Utah. Oh, because there's just so many. There's just tons of them. And if he was in groups talking politics, that's far less likely that he would have done something like this, because he would have had a community. Usually this is done by isolation and repetitive conversations on 4chan, discords, things like that. We also know he went back in there to brag. That doesn't sound that way. That sounds either anarchist, nihilistic, alt-rightish, but I really have a hard time landing on far left, and I'd go there if I could. I'm trying to, just to keep my mind open and objective. And if I can get there, I'll let you know. But until they give us more information, because they're staying so vague and they're pushing the trans boyfriend just to prove the point, and that's why I keep going on here showing people, look, Trump used to be pro-trans rights. He protected someone getting kicked out of his Miss Universe pageant that was trans, and they said that she lied, and he said, well, if it's legal to be that in her country and that's what she feels her gender is, then she's allowed in there, and he made sure that she was. And then on an interview with Matt Lauer on Today's Show, he said that North Carolina should not have changed the laws to make it where you have to have your birth certificate has to match the bathroom you go into. He's like, there's not been problems with trans going in there. And if Caitlyn Jenner came to my hotel, she can use the bathroom that feels appropriate to her. So he used to be pro-trans rights because he's really a Democrat. This is just a grift. So really that's the important thing to push here and help them understand that people on the right can sound left in certain ways. It's not just cut and dry like, we believe this, we believe this. So until that kid comes forward and says, well, this is what I did, which it sounds like he's not cooperating, we don't know, right? And like I said, like when I profile, like I have to stay open to this, and I am, because I want the truth. I have to stay objective about it, or I can't do my job. And if I could get all the way to like left, I would. I can't yet.